Hey everybody, this is Percy LaPointe with Tender Care Lawn Service, and today I wanted to create a really brief video which just explains the kind of 5 key questions that we've seen over and over and over again in our business, which is it's kind of just an educational type video. The primary questions as a new client when you're trying to hire a lawn or a landscaper, or what we've seen kind of in the past. And so we'll just kind of just jump right in. But the number one thing that we get all the time is, what services do we provide? So the Tender Care Lawn Service, the name of our business, is really it really signifies to some people, or just kind of expresses that we're just a lawn company, and we're not. We don't just mow grass. We do landscaping, we do irrigation, installations and repairs, we do drainage, and we do fertilization and weed control. And so Tender Care Lawn Service is basically a full service company. And so we wanted to let any future people know that, just because we mow your grass doesn't mean, hey, look, if I need to get my landscape done, you're more than welcome to ask, or we should be promoting to you and say, hey, you might want to look at getting your landscaping. It's time to trim, it's time to mulch. It's that time of the year to do this particular service. And so rolling into that, if a client likes what they hear or the pricing, the next question you'll get is, how do we pay? So how do we pay is pretty simple. The majority of the time for our residential clients, we are credit or debit card process, which makes it really simple. So what happens is we'll do the estimate for the service you're requesting. We'll send you that estimate. You approve that estimate digitally. It comes back to us and says, hey, this person approved this service, and then you'll get an email that's automatically generated back to you, which is to put in your credit or debit card through the payment processing system. Now, it doesn't run your credit card up front. It doesn't do anything like that. You do not pay until the services are completed. Whether it's a mowing, so we mow your property, we make sure you're satisfied, then you pay. Or if it's a landscape or any of the other services, you don't pay until you're satisfied. If it's a rather large project like a landscape or an irrigation install, a lot of the times we'll request half up front, half upon completion. So we can run that credit card for half. Everything is done based on your approval though. So whether you give us a check, a lot of times we accept checks from those people who don't want to put a credit or debit card on file. We just take the check format. So that pretty much explains the two methods that we typically go about. Sometimes people pay cash, but it's very seldom. And so the third question we get, and this is really key, do we have a monthly payment option for larger items? And so we have designed an internal system or a method for a payment plan for larger items. So if you're trying to get a lot of work done, sometimes it could cost thousands of dollars. Well, we've taken it in under our roof and said, hey, look, we don't want you to have to go out for a loan or for anything like that. Maybe you have it in your savings, you don't want to use your cash. We have monthly payment options. We can offer that as an option, or we cannot. It's up to you, the client. We don't want to force you into doing anything that you don't want to do, but just know as a client of Tender Care Lawn Service that it is an option for you, because a lot of times people will hold back. Let's say they do a $2,000 or $3,000 landscape redo, and they needed an irrigation system, but they held back because they only wanted to spend X amount of dollars. You might be able to get both of your services completed at one time, and then take that payment option, that monthly payment option. So we've done that quite often. This is another one. So for our lawn maintenance clients, can we select which days to be serviced on? So we hear it a lot. And what that means is, a lot of people, especially if you have kids, what day can we have our lawn maintenance so it's fresh and clean for the weekend? So a lot of people will request, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. A lot of times it's Fridays. Can we get cut right before the weekend so it's clean and fresh for our kids to play? And the majority of the time is yes, we can. Sometimes there are rare occasions where it's just kind of off of the beaten path and we have to select a certain day that works because it might affect 50 other clients, and so it has to be done on that day. But for the most part, if you said, hey, I'd like to be done on a Friday, we usually have a truck in your area. That's why we create these dense routes for our trucks. It's because when we're in Sulphur, it doesn't matter. We have multiple trucks on all areas, whether it's in Carlos, north, south of Sulphur. We service all those areas every day, so it's really easy for us to particularly put a truck in your area. And so that really helps our clients, and we're trying to make that convenient for you. And so the next one is kind of a little bit different, but I get it quite often. It's, why won't my grass grow here? So if you have a big oak tree, or you have a spot where your grass doesn't grow very well, this is kind of one of the top questions I'll get on a day-to-day basis is, can you educate me, or can you fix this? And most of the time we have a chemical solution where we can fix it, whether it be soil compaction. So a lot of times right underneath these oak trees, you have a 30-foot ring, depending on how big that tree is, where my grass just won't grow. And so there are many, many options to fixing it. Maybe you need to aerate, you need to overseed, it's not getting enough sunlight, not getting enough water, the tree's preventing it from growing, or it may be there's a multitude of issues. But we have come a long way from what we used to do. And a lot of times back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of options unless you pruned up that tree, get a little sunlight, a little water in. But now you can chemically treat a lot of this. And so if you do have soil compaction or something similar of that nature, you can chemically treat that and get that grass to grow in those hard areas. So I hope that answers the majority of the questions. I mean, I know that's just 5 quick ones. And I'm going to create more videos on the other questions that we typically get. But number 1, what services we provide, lawn, landscaping, irrigation, drainage, FERC and weed control. How do we pay, credit or check, credit card, debit card, or checks. Do we have a monthly payment option? Yes, we have a monthly payment option for larger items. Can we select which days to be serviced on? Yes, you can. And hoping we can service everybody in that manner if you do request a specific day. And why won't my grass grow here? Those are the 5 things that I've seen, just recently that just have come up over and over and over again. And so that's kind of my 5 tips from TenderCare Lawn Service. Thank you so much for watching, you guys.